Alrighty, update time. So I reached out to the hive mind of both Instagram and Reddit last night and asked how to get these panels off the bus. About half the people who responded said to cut them, and that may be what happens. The other half of the people said that on the outside, I'll try to show you that in a second, there is a cap. So I have to pull the window out. I have to pull the cap, I'm going to call it, off of that little yellow rail there. And then this piece of sheet metal actually goes up, over, and back down. So it's seriously in there. I'm going to do a little bit more investigating. I'm going to pull out these two windows. And then I'm going to pull that cap off and see what I see. If it does go up, over, and back down, there's a pretty good chance I'm going to cut this stuff anyways. Because to get the windows out, you have to slit the caulking here with a knife. And I don't want to decalk all of these windows right before. Well, actually, I just don't want to do it before I'm ready to start thinking about raising the roof. Because right now, they're doing a pretty good job of keeping the rain that we've been getting every single day on the outside of the bus. I would like them to continue to do that. So, these two windows have already been removed once. Time to find out what we find out, see what we see, and like I said, there's a good chance I'm going to cut this stuff anyways because I don't plan on reusing this metal. It's kind of ugly. And we're going to want to find out, I do want to get all the insulation out of there and just get measurements for where all the hat channels are and stuff like that. But might as well check these two and see if we're going to go back later and get the scraps out. Here we go. Holy moly. Alright, so going on here, I'm taking these screws out so that this 1L piece should be mostly unscrewed. However, it is also glued in with what has been referenced as the evil green glue. You might, if I can get this to focus. Focus, gosh darn you. Hopefully not exposing it too much. This stuff in here is the evil green glue, and I am hauling on this thing a little bit. Not too bad because I don't want to break it, but I don't want to bend it too much. But boy, that does not want to let go. So I am probably just going to give up and take a shear to this sheet and see how that works. I will come back to get at least this one off, this 1L off, because I want to get an inside measurement on this hat channel. Eventually, I think anything that wants to be under the roof raise is going to have to get free, but yikes. progress this week happened in time lapse, so I thought I'd interject a few thoughts. This is me taking the screws off of the panels. In a second, Sue's going to come in and cut them. Sue's a preschool teacher in her day job, and I just introduced her to a pair of electrically powered scissors that can cut metal. This is her new favorite tool in the world. So now we're moving on to the ceiling. In an earlier video, I had talked about how Sue had spent hours taking screws out of the ceiling and walls. You'll see me occasionally take a screw out because we left a few up to hold things in place, but for the most part we only have to drop maybe 3 screws per panel and we can get them out. So this is where all of that prep work has really paid off. Camera angles, we get it out. We got a good rhythm going where I would take the screws out while Sue removed the insulation, and then we'd carry each sheet out together. It's kind of nice to be able to work with your wife on the bus. We have kids, so usually one of us is entertaining the kids and the other one gets to do some bus work. But for some reason we were able to keep the kids busy for a couple hours and get all of the walls and ceiling out on the Saturday, which was pretty cool to get to make a lot of progress together. I think towards the end of this we were only taking 4 or 5 minutes a panel to get them down. Again, a lot of that's due to the fact that Sue had done a huge amount of prep work. So right here I'm converting another set of screws. I'm either taking them all the way off of the grinder or I am converting them to being flatheads, which with a cutoff wheel works really well. You can just cut a slit and then very quickly back them out with the flathead screwdriver. That's for the screws that got stripped when we're trying to take them out with the regular impact driver. Good morning. It's Sunday morning. And I'm feeling like we did pretty well progress-wise on the bus this week. So I'm taking a few minutes to sweep up and organize the tools. Did a little bit of it last night, doing some more this morning. And it's a little bit silly. Because in just a few minutes, I'm going to take a wire wheel to a bunch of the rust on the floor around here and find out how much trouble I'm in. And that's going to make a huge mess. But there's something I learned in the short period of time that I did some construction and when I've seen other people do construction in houses I've been in. And that is, it is important every once in a while to organize your workspace. I do subscribe to the idea that a messy workspace is the sign of a creative mind. And I don't think you should stop in the middle of peak flow to necessarily always clean up. But cleaning up a bit every once in a while is super helpful. It makes the workspace safer. It makes the workspace more efficient because you can find stuff. And it makes me feel better anyways. It'll probably drive my wife a little bit nuts. I never just randomly clean at home. But yes, I should. But it does. The random cleaning of the workspace is important, and even though I'm about to create a whole bunch more mess, it's worth the time. So I'm going to do a little bit more sweeping, and then I'll probably reposition the camera, and I will find out how much rust is in the main entryway to this bus. Doesn't look that bad, but I suspect that there'll be a little bit of patching I have to do. Here we go.